Sunday morning, 8:05 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11/28 of 2010. One of the things that the SMF MMTs are going to learn about is that there are key core economic numbers that come out on a weekly basis and on a monthly basis. And basically, they're learning what these numbers are going to be, and they're going to how to trail the number and how to run simulation in using longer term data to find out what the true number, weighted true number average is in a mathematical format, in a mathematical index format. And there's, people are always releasing numbers, and there's a lot of discrepancy in the numbers being released. So therefore, it requires a great deal of attention.
Yeah, but
core elements is understanding what is a market mover and what is growth or accelerating growth or deceleration in growth. And how do I get a true weighted number, rather, because lots of these numbers are released by the government and different agencies around the U.S. And it's basically a complete United States, USA structure. And one of the things that's important is the consumer confidence, always. The ISM, we were throwing in there an ECRI as well, and hourly earnings. Are they increasing or decreasing? Average weekly hours. Are they increasing? Are they decreasing? Factory orders. Are they increasing or are they decreasing? There is seasonality to the numbers. We are going into 2011 faster than you can say fast. So basically what MMTs will be doing is getting all of this data put together correctly in an Excel spreadsheet with a long-term structure to be able to mathematically get the number to where the real number will come out over time from what the public, all of us, are given. So there has to be a system to what we're doing, particularly when it comes to the earnings season and forward-looking earnings, as you got to know. And this is the data, this is the kind of data up here where, we're talking about payrolls and manufacturing expanded in November, as they believe it did. So, heading into 2011, economists said before the reports this week, well, look, that's them. Your system is going to give you the real truth. And the seasonality, time frames, the timestamps that are the various different timestamps that go involved in these numbers down here, and seasonality timestamps per se. Sometimes different things adjust themselves. Right now in the U.S., what we're looking for is the consumer payroll to go higher, and that the consumer hourly earnings are moving up. And another thing outside of this is where the consumer savings rate is, because the consumer has been deleveraged since the financial crisis started in 2008. So that's where people are saving more money than they did before, and that means that spending habits, things change. There was lots of fear. And when the MMTs are going to be taught this, they're going to go back before the financial crisis. And they're going to have, each one of these are going to have a graph on them. Then we're going to use the SMF formula to get inside the number, all of them. And basically, it's a good way of understanding when I want to be a long-term short seller or a long-term bull buyer. And how long could that be? Well, we like to look at everything on a week to week, but then at the end of the month, We like to look at each month within a 3-month period. Then we take the 3 months, put them into a quarterly, but we get those highs and those peaks and those adjustments or sustainability. Sustainability. So basically, we're going to be really touching on this. I do my reports going into 2011. Mario here does his reports going into 2011, taking all of this here and then coming up as to what the growth will look like. We will hit peaks of resistance. We'll pull back to support. Technology will have different cycles, and various different things in the economy will have their cycle patterns and their seasonality moves throughout 2011, particularly for the people that are halfway or longer in their SMF 12-month apprenticeship program. And basically, it's part of an element that is very important that they're taught outside of their actual trading and things like that. Because there's lots of big trades that can be put on here as far as using some of these numbers at times to be putting on bear and bull risk management trades and various indexes that can be bought at a wholesale value and sold or sold short. So there's lots of different things that are involved in here in these numbers when it comes to trading and the futures. The key element is the public consumer, U.S. public consumer, is what is their reaction? Because what the SMF MMT does is takes advantage of the emotional consumer reaction within the Wall Street tape that's printed. That's where buyers and sellers have met and people are making decisions. A lot of that could be irrational exuberance in both selling and buying. There are lots of behavior patterns that go within these economic numbers in the U.S. And one of the gifts that the MMT actually gets in all of this is, once again, it's all about measuring where that public sentiment and that public interaction is within the exchange model, whether it's the NYSE index or the NASDAQ or the Amex or the option pit or whatever it may be. There's going to be the emotional reaction to the numbers. And either the bulls get bullish, or the bears take the number and the bears get bearish. And that's how markets make their directional movements. We always know that generally the public turns out to be wrong. In our 30 years of experience, we've always known that everyone likes to catastrophize or build up more on a bear side or build up more on a bull side. They both work in their equal distances between bull and bear. And the thing about it is deciphering the data correctly. And in that deciphering model, the SMF deciphering economic model, is where we get down and drill down into this relative to where the public transaction is going to be made. And that includes a very in-depth subject, because then you get into various categories of people that engage in the Wall Street tape. And that's in the price action. Okay? So, MMTs, once again, this is your new beginning. This is going to tell you how to measure, and it's going to incorporate a lot of wisdom within you.